So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do another coding example, a little more complicated, but again, pretty simple. The thing I'm going to share with you now, it has its entire source code available here. We're going to do a COVID visualizer that basically shows different infection levels on different continents. So let's do that together. And again, the code is right here in our GitHub channel. So I'm going to upload another 3D file. Right now, I'm going to add a file instead of choosing it here. Or again, I can search if I want to. I search for globe, for example. I can do that. But I'm going to, for this case, I'm going to upload my own file. Just because you already saw, how you can fetch 3D files from our library. But again, you can do the same thing here. You see all these globes that we have. So I'm going to choose a file right here that will be a model of our glorious Earth. Let's do that. I'm going to press play right here. We're going to upload the same 3D file. Again, the same process we're already used to. We're taking those 3D files. We're going to convert, build, and compress them so it'll work anywhere. Once that's done, you're able to see the beautiful blue Earth right here. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to swap out the custom behavior script. So I just swapped it, and we'll go through it together. Here, let's add some. Let's make it scale to 2. Let's make it rotate, because it's a globe, so it has to rotate. Perfect. And now let's go through what we have right here. So we have a new script, a new custom behavior script that basically has all these content names, right? It has almost the data that it's looking for, and some dictionaries, and some more data structures that I created. I already know that this expects to have these data entries with some information. So let's do that. Let's just add some information about all these different continents. So I'm going to throw it right here. So let's just randomly throw in numbers. And again, you can recreate the same experience with me, basically just like by using the same code. So I'm going to throw that here. Perfect. So we added some metadata that we know that the script expects to have. And now we are going to press play and see what's happening. And then we're going to go through the code. So I'm going to press play. And then we're going to see the buildings being streamed and the data being streamed. Look how cool this is. So now we have this code visualizer. We have the building being streamed. We have the globe being streamed. And we have all these bar graphs that shows every different continent and how much the infection level was there. Right now, these are mock data that I've been inserted, right? Just numbers randomly. But you can fetch data from, let's say, the WHO's website and then make these changes in real time and basically reflect COVID spread around the world with this application. Super, super simple. And all you have to do is like grab this data. So how did we create this application? So we already know how to stream the 3D model here, right? We just need to press play once we have the Unity echoAR SDK integrated. In our function right here, so we see the start function looks exactly the same as it looked earlier, right? I can change the name. It has the transformations being inside. But here in the update function, there's a lot more. So let's dive into that. So first I ask, is there any additional data? If there is some additional data, let's grab the scale additional data because we're going to use it. Or let's go through, for example, let's iterate through all the continents and see if the continent exists. Let's grab that value of that continent. If that value exists, let's parse it into an integer. And then let's create a bar graph based on that integer. So we can see if the bar graph already exists, just rescale it and reposition it. If it doesn't, create one. So for example, here we're creating a primitive cylinder in Unity. We're coloring it. We're giving it a name. We're moving it a little bit. We're scaling it based on the number that we got. We are transforming it. We're setting a text, for example, like the name of the continent. If it doesn't exist, we're going to delete it. So a simple code example, but again, super powerful to see how a few lines of code are able to create such an engaging experience in 3D. So we have this, again, if we can see that if I change, for example, let's check out Oceania, I'm going to change it to 10. Bam, suddenly the graph automatically became like really, really large. Or if I'll delete it completely, bam, that bar graph disappears. So again, super simple examples. But this is how you can like delete stuff, add content, and basically maybe later expand on this application and have this data basically being posted through our RESTful API. So instead of, let's say you can have a website, again, or like a web app that queries data and updates these numbers based on some external 3D library or sort of 3D data set. And again, the way you can do that, if you go to our documentation, you're able to see that you can post data through some RESTful API as well. Really, really simple, just with a few queries that you can have.